Hello and welcome back to Ashley U Life. In today's class, we're going to learn how to do an inside out braid. Inside out braid, you say? It's a normal braid that's like a French braid, except it's opposite. Instead of all the hairs going inward and you have like a flat surface where the braid is, the inside out braid looks like the braid is being pulled out. It just gives a lot of really cool dimension to different hairstyles. Like I use the inside out braid when I did the side mohawk braid. So the first thing you need to do when you do an inside out braid is get used to braiding your hair the opposite way you would do a normal braid. Let me show you. You're going to separate your hair into 3 sections. Now, a normal braid, you go over like a rainbow to make your braid, okay? Now, an inside out braid is different. You're going to do the exact opposite. Instead of going over, you're going to go under like a U, like for Ashley U Life. So you're going to go under like a U, and you're going to braid that way. So instead of going over, I'm going under. Now I would just practice just like this without adding the French braid in until you get used to your fingers working the opposite way, because it is a little bit tricky at first, but once you get it, it's no problem. So I'm going under like a U, under like a U, under like a U, under like a U. You can't really tell a difference in this braid because it's just a single braid, but once you start French braiding it, you will notice a huge difference. So just practice that for a while, then you can add this next step. Adding this next step, we're going to do the opposite braiding while French braiding. You're going to grab a thin bit of hair like you would in a French braid. You're going to separate it into 3 sections. And you are going to start braiding opposite. We're going to go under like a U, under like a U. And now here's the part where we add the French braid. So the part that's going to go under, I'm going to hold with my hand over here. I'm going to grab a little bit of hair and I'm going to add it to that section. Okay, and I'm going to go under. Now, I'm going to hold this little bit of hair, the part that will go under, not over. Hold this little bit of hair. I'm going to grab a little bit of hair, add it to that section, and I'm going to go under. Now, I'm going to do the same thing again. A little bit of hair, hold it over here. Grab some hair, add it to that section, clear off any other hairs, take that section, and what? I'm gonna go under. That's right. I'm gonna hold that hair, I'm gonna hold this other hair, I'm gonna grab some hair, connect it to that piece of hair, hold that hair while I clear out any other hairs, and what? I'm gonna go under. And I'm going to keep on doing that all the way down. Now we've come to the point where I don't really need to grab any more hair, so I'm going to normally braid opposite. Under, 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 under. Okay, so here's my braid. Now, as you can see, the braid pops out, like you can actually see the full braid, as opposed to a normal French braid that kind of, the only part you can really see is the crisscrossing part. This part you could see the rounded edges. So this is cool because you can actually then come in and separate. You can actually make the braid just a little bit bigger, and then you could just do, you know, lots of fun things once you know how to do this. So I'm going to show you how to do this with your whole head just so you could see in greater detail the definition of an inside out braid. I'm going to start with the top of my head just like I did with the French braid class, which if you haven't seen the French braid class, click here or down below. I'm going to grab a hair, separate into 3 pieces. I'm going to braid like normal but opposite for the first 2 braids. Go under and go under like a U. Now it's time to grab hair. So I'm going to hold this hair, I'm going to hold this little hair, ready to go and add to this little piece of hair that I'm grabbing. Grabbing this hair, and combining. And then I separate just to clear off the rest of the hair. Now I'm going to go under. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Grab hair combined with that hair. Clear to make sure there's no hairs. And we're going to go under. Grab hair, combined it with the other hair, go under. Grab hair, combined hair and go under. Now I get to the point where I can't really reach anymore for my braid, so I turn around and I just flip the braid and continue braiding like I was going under. Tie off the braid. Here you can see how much more defined the braid is, how it's coming out from the head as opposed to being hidden in the hair. The braid is a lot more defined. And again, you can do a lot more fun things. You can pull it apart a little bit. Do whatever you want. I never wear just a strictly French braid or French inside out braid ever, but it is good practice. So just practice this while you're watching TV. Like I've said before, super easy time to do it. Make sure to like and share so other people can like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next class. Once you practice and get this down, you could do a whole bunch of fun hairstyles like side poof braid, my side poof braid class. I used a normal braid, but you can also do an inside out braid, so that's fun. Give that a try. I do that sometimes. My side mohawk braid, that uses this technique as well. I do a lot of updos with an inside out braid. I'll show you that hairstyle in another class. But until then, just practice, practice, practice. If you don't know your regular braid, practice that. Then move on to the French braid, then move on to this braid, and then we'll get into, some other fun braids after that. Have you subscribed? Make sure you subscribed. Click the red button and like this video.